Hello, my beautiful people. Welcome to the next in the weekly generals. So here we go, right on the other side of so many things, and actually at the foothills of a brand new era of change that is awakening. It's a very, very interesting time right now. It really is, for so many reasons, and there are so many big changes on the horizon. If you haven't seen it yet, I put out a project all about the life path numbers, what your specific life path number has in store for the year of 2021. If you haven't seen those yet, there's a link in the description box below and probably one of those little floaty things above my head, so check it out. As always, I would like to bless my decks of cards with all forms of love, light, peace, prosperity and abundance, and I pray that the messages that come through are ultimately clear and concise, and they help you on your, or all of us, on our paths to our highest vibrational good. So if you would like to book a personal reading with me, you can do so on the website address below. And before we get started, I just wanted to say, so when we go into, I always go into my intuition for the weekly general just to flesh it out, to see what the kind of pervading energy of the week ahead is going to be. And what I actually saw this time, so those are the words that I got, but what I saw this time was, what I actually saw was a row of people that looked like they were running a race, but they were running so fast that there was like almost like a stream of light coming from behind them, and each one was a different color. It was kind of like the Power Rangers. Very, very similar to that. The one person that I was focusing on more than anybody else, I think they were wearing, it kind of looked like a white shimmering sort of purple, it all looked very futuristic actually, and it appeared to be a woman, and she was running sort of like just at the tip of everybody else. She was like that little bit further ahead than anybody else, and she was looking at the people beside her, and she was just like really, really smiling, and like as if to say, these are my people. And that really feels like the message for today, not just because of what's going on the wider world stage. I actually feel like this is a time where this sort of energy is going to start to really ramp up for everybody. I actually feel like from this week onward, we are going to start to see people forming alliances. We're going to start to see people, maybe they're very new, maybe people are just starting to show up in your life, maybe just the right people, who have just the right skill set, who just happen to, have like all of the same ... This is a time now, especially this week, where it's time to build your tribe. This is about looking around you. When you look at the people that surround you, I'm talking about friends, I'm talking about family, I'm talking about people that you hang out with, I'm talking about people that you study with, people that you work with, all of it, right? When you look around at your people, do they give you that warm glow? Do you look at them and think, you know what, whether we do or don't share blood, you are my people? Right? If not, then now is the time. And I'm not saying you have to cut people off. What I'm saying is now is the time to start building the tribe of people around you. Time to start becoming a part of a tribe that truly feels like it is aligned with where it wants to go, where they need to be, and how they all support each other. Because at the end of it, I actually saw one of these people trip, and instead of kind of all just standing there and pulling out their phones, as this person tripped over, they kind of all stopped, came back, and then helped that person up, and then they all continued on. And it was like they were all covering each other. So whatever one of them lacked, it was like somebody came in and said, I've got you. Whatever somebody else needed, that's okay, cool, I can do that. So it was kind of like, like this, like a zip. Just seamless and effortless, and that was the big message that came through this week, and I really, really like that, especially for the current world events. I think we're going to see a lot of this kind of thing starting to happen. We already are, right? We're already seeing people ask the big question of, how can we unify rather than diversify, right? And this is the spirit of Aquarius, right? We've got all of this, everything's happened in Capricorn so far this year. But slowly but surely, everything's going to move into Aquarius. And what is the sign of Aquarius? Well, it is being your individual, unique self and understanding how you fit into the wider world, right? So when you think about a tapestry, every single thread, even if it's the same color as another one, it's a different position. Maybe it's a different stitch. Maybe it's a different whatever, right? There is a unique thread, right? Which suggests that in that grand scheme, that grand tapestry of life, right, you can remain individual and still fit into the wider whole. And you know, and when you stand back from that, everybody being different and being in a different place and all the rest of it actually looks even more beautiful, because everybody understands their unique individual way of being. That for me, I mean, I'm a sun sign Aquarius, so that is one of the most beautiful ideals of Aquarian energy. So as we move into the, you know, the latter end of this year, that's the energy that we're going to start to, you know, start to welcome in, which is beautiful, right? Seeing that everybody has a place, everybody has a space, and it's the same with the tribe. That's the beauty of it, right? You all have different skill sets, you all have different wants, needs and desires, and the beauty of it is when you allow people to choose, you know, what sort of sector they go in. Yeah, all right, you might get some overlap, or maybe, you know, 2 or 3 people want to go in the same direction, but 9 times out of 10 everybody picks the thing that they want. And when you all work in that way, it just enhances all of who you are. It enhances other people's skills, because they think, wow, okay, now I don't need to do that bit, and this person's like, wow, that's cool, because I love doing this bit, and actually it was that bit that I didn't want to do, and that person's already doing that, right? What I'm seeing in my mind is kind of like this weaving, you know, it's almost, and it really does, it feels like I can just see like strings and ties, and they're all weaving around in a circle, and it's just like the most beautiful thing that I can see. And that's why I say this week, start to build your tribe. And a lot of people get really upset when I talk about this stuff, because they say, oh, you know, I've been looking for them for ages and they're not here, and you know, I don't know where I'm going to find them, they're not in my area. Well, we live in the bloody digital age, right? Your people, your tribe may not be people that live close to you anymore, right? They might be people that live hundreds, if not thousands of miles away, but you've got the internet, you've got a phone, you know, with more ways to connect with people at a distance now than we ever have in our lives. Go out there, right? Seek out there in the world for your tribe, for your people. And more importantly, don't try to impose what that tribe looks like. Come from a place of, this is who I am. These are the skills that I can offer. This is what I want to bring to the world. Is there anybody that loves, needs, wants, cares for, or accepts any of that wants to work with me or collaborate with me or anything like that? This is a really apt message for me as well, just given a lot of the conversations that I'm having at the back end right now. So very interesting. Stay tuned. And with that said, I think I've waffled on enough at you now. Sorry. But you know, this felt really great, and just to see it, it was kind of like, I was like, wow, okay, cool. I almost felt like, you know, like, almost like a little bit of an intruder, because I was watching this whole scene sort of unfold where they were just so tight. And they were all very, very different people. There were like 5 or 6 of them just running like with this streak of light behind them. And they were all really different, but it was just like this energy between them where they were like, yeah, you know, this is my people, and what better way to live your life, right? So anyway, let's have a look, see for the destiny card for the week ahead. We have, ooh, okay, those two seem to want out. What have we got? Wow. All right, so we've got the Lovers and the Devil. So this is a very interesting one, very interesting indeed. Gosh, I have to try and keep it to a minimum, but I'm going to go in anyway, right? So the Lovers card is always about choice. It's about the things that you choose to align yourself with, the things that you choose to pick up. Now, as a card of relationships, right, we're talking about finding your tribe, connecting to people. This card represents Gemini, right? We've currently got Venus, which is retrograde in the sign of Gemini. She'll be coming, I mean, just after this week, she'll be coming out of that retrograde. So interesting that this comes up. Now, the Lover's card being representative of choice and Gemini, and you know, looking in various different ways, or going in different going down different avenues. As a destiny card, this basically says that a lot of us will be making big choices this week at a heart-based level, at a soul-based level, right? You know, we're going to start to really look around at people and say, right, okay, well, you no longer, you know, maybe we don't resonate with that, you know, in the same way anymore. Doesn't mean I have to cut you off. It just means that I need to start finding my people, my team, the people that are going to support me and surround me, that I can do the same for. With your Lover's card as well. So check this out. The Lover's card is number 6. Now, its numerological opposite in the tarot is the Devil card, right? So these are kind of like two halves of a whole. Now, look at that, right? In fact, I probably should have had the Rider-Waite deck for this. In fact, let me pull them out. This is going to end up being a really long video, but I don't care. It's too important and relevant for what's going on right now. So I'm sorry for those of you that like my short videos. I'm going in. Sorry, I'm such a dork. All right, where is it? Come on, Mr. Diablo. All right, so check this out, right? There you've got the Lover's card, and you've got the figure that, you know, the figure and the union or the choice that is being divinely blessed, right? Now, then on the opposite side, you've got the Devil card. Now, it's interesting because there's a video that I'm putting out with Heather from Astrology with Heather that's going to be, check it out, trust me, this is because we go a lot deeper into this. But look at this, right? Look how similar they are. We've got two people that are chained to a block here, and we've got like the dark magician or the devil above them, right, that's holding them captive. Now check this out, right? Here, no chains. They are reaching for one another's hands. That's the choice to align yourself with something. Then you've got the Devil card, that choice that then turns on you, right? And this is how, as well, when you think about the Devil card representing addictions, you know, I always say this, all right, so fine, you may end up an addict, but the original decision to take that substance, drink, you know, the first time you have sex and then you become a sex addict, or whatever it is, whatever your addiction is, the original moment where you first decided to pick up that vice was a choice. And when that choice becomes a habit and then it starts to turn on you, it keeps you locked and bound and captive. Now, if you look at them, you can see, right, the chains aren't actually that tight. So technically they could free themselves, but it's going to take a big push. This week, what this kind of represents for us, right, is really paying attention to the choices that we are making and where they may be leading us, and also paying attention to the choices that we've already previously made and where it is now that they are holding us captive. Where is it that certain alliances are no longer viable? Where is it that certain connections or relationships are no longer good for us, are no longer nourishing our soul or our spirit? And the thing is as well, check this out, right? I'm gonna say something here that might upset a few people, but I'm gonna say it anyway. You guys know me, right? I'm not, don't get me wrong, I'm all about love and light, but I ain't gonna give you fluff. When we are in a situation that is, you know, that's toxic, or it's difficult, or it's challenging, or it's no good for us, and we have to look at that situation and say, wow, you know what? Originally it was this, but it's turned into this. One thing that you need to consider is, as toxic as it is for you and that person or that situation may be for you, you are also that for the other person. And that is the reason why making that choice, taking your power back in the Devil card, is so important. It's how you reverse that energy. It's how you bring it back into alignment. So the choice that took you into this, right, the big thing that you can do to reverse this energy is say, right, okay, well, I chose to go down this path, and now I need to choose to come out of it. And once you do that, once you really take your power back from or in the Devil card or the situation or the connection that it represents, that's when you go back to this. Right, that's when you turn it all around and you open those light forces within you, and you delve back into the higher, more aligned, more balanced energy, right? So what this is saying to us as a motif for the destiny this week, you need to pay attention to the choices that you're making, the connections that you have, the connections that you're forging. All of it comes under question now. Now, that's not to say, right, because I know at the moment, for me personally, there are some wonderful connections being forged. There's some amazing things that are happening behind the scenes, and I feel that. But every single part of the way, I've had to do this whole... it's almost like the Two of Swords, right? So I'm like this, because I know there's a lot of retrograde energy, and everyone's kind of a bit like, so I'm using this, right? I'm doing that Two of Swords thing where I've got my swords, but I can't see here, but I can feel, right? And I'm trusting those feelings and that intuition to guide me forward. So let's have a look, see what the direction has for the week ahead. Ooh, okay. Check this out. It's all about the King of Pentacles, right? So aside from an earth sign male, so very likely to be a Capricorn if featuring this week, this would be an earth sign, earth sign person, let's say, a Taurus, a Capricorn, or a Virgo. Now, as a direction, the King of Pentacles talks about reaching for your higher goals, reaching for your practical goals, taking a look around you and asking yourself, right, how do I elevate this? Whether it's my business, whether it's my relationships, whether it is my finances, whether it's maybe I've just come out of a breakup, maybe I have just oh gosh, I'm just trying to think of so many different examples, tangible, real world things where I say to myself, right, that was a bit rocky, or that was a bit shaky, or you know what, it's kind of gone the other way. This card always suggests that if you are ready and willing to do the tough stuff, right, this is a roll your sleeves up and get stuck in, and the rewards are there for you. So as a direction, this is basically saying to all of us, what is it that you can focus on doing now? Don't start where you're not, or where you can't, or where you don't have. Don't start from there, because the only thing that you're going to get is more of this devil card sort of, I'm trapped in it sort of situation. Even if there is just one thing that you can do to advance yourself or to change your situation, do that one thing, right? Stick with just that one thing, because once you change that, you change the vibration. Remember what I was saying to you earlier about the Aquarian energy? That one thread has so much power. I mean, gosh, we've all had a jumper or a pair of trousers that we absolutely loved, right? And then we see that one thread, the thread of doom. Do you know what I mean? It's like you see that one thread and you're like, no, because you're probably not going to be able to not pick it. And by the time you start picking it, the whole thing starts to unravel. So remember, right, if it can unravel something, that one thread can make a difference. And this is why you're being urged by the King of Pentacles to say to yourself this week, what can I do? What is it that I can change? Where is that one thing that, no matter how bleak my entire situation looks, what is that one thing that I know I can do, that I will definitely achieve, that I will physically, real world accomplish? What is it that I can do? This is not a can't week. This is not a week for you to look at the things that you can't do or how difficult everything is, because it is there for all of us in some way, shape or form right now. We are all under it, right? So what is that thread? What is that one thing? And this is why I say that one thread, it has so much power, right, to affect the collective. And this is why it's really important in your own life, when you're looking at that grand tapestry, if you can only change one thread, change it, because then it changes the whole picture. All right, so small things can sometimes have very, very big, I don't like the word consequences because it's so sort of negative, but small things can sometimes have a really big impact. So for the insight card, as what is coming in, oh, that feels good. We've got the Seven of Pentacles, right? So how apt is that? None of this, none of what you see before you, especially this, none of it is going to be a quick fix. None of it is going to be overnight. This is the week where you start, right, with that one thread, with that one thing that you can do. This is the week where you put one foot in front of another and you start that journey. No matter how big that mountain looks, no matter how long that road seems to be, no matter how long the corridor or, you know, the scream that goes on and on and on, but there's nothing coming out of your mouth. The Seven of Pentacles as an insight card is saying that whatever it is that you start this week, whatever it is that you're starting right now, it's not going to be instant gratification. It's not going to be overnight success. But what does the Seven of Pentacles tell you? If you grow your garden, if you cultivate what you have, if you work with what you have and you nurture it and nourish it beyond everything and anything that that you've ever given before, oh, them rewards are going to be so great. They're going to be so tasty, especially with the King of Pentacles in the mix. King of Pentacles and the Seven of Pentacles, you put those two together, you've got very long-term growth, but you've also got sustainable growth, and also you have a power, a power combination for playing the long game and winning it. Right? That's the sevens always give you the challenge. They kind of say to you, you know what, are you ready for it? Are you really ready for it? Right? Because everybody, especially in this day and age, everyone just wants that instant gratification, or, let's do it massive and yeah, we hit those numbers straight away. Is it sustainable? No, it really isn't. Whereas that slow, steady, sustained growth that continues to grow and expand and change and grow you as a person, it creates in you all of those different levels that you need in order to ascend to your highest, right? The Seven of Pentacles is kind of a card that looks at the King of Pentacles and says, that's the highest expression. Where I am right now is the foundation. And what is the mark of a true master? Somebody that understands that repetition every day, the choice to do something over and over again, no matter how many times you fall, no matter how difficult or painful it is, the choice to continually get up and keep going. Right, to even become maybe a little bit obsessed, right, devil card, the choice to stave off that devil card, right, the choice to stave off the devil card is in the small daily habits that you make, right, and that Seven of Pentacles is a seven, endurance, challenge, kind of says to you, right, Seven of Pentacles looking at the King, okay, the choices that I make every single day, the things that I do every single day that are going to bring me one step, even just one step closer to that ultimate goal, that is where I need to spend my time and energy. So where is it at the moment? Devil card, where is it this week is going to be highlighted to you, where you seek instant gratification, where it is that you're unable to wait, where it is that you're, impatient, where it is that you... where it is that you feel stagnant and stuck, when the truth of the matter is you just refuse to do something about it. So it's a really interesting set of cards this week. It's a very long video, my apologies, but there was just so much here, and I really felt, it was just kind of coming, and I can feel the ribbon dissipating now. So that's it, that's how it works for me. I kind of see it like a ribbon, and I kind of pull it, and then that stream of consciousness comes, and then because it slows, and then it just kind of fades off until the next time. With that said, I wish you all an abundance of all of that good stuff. Have a fantastic week. Let me know in the comments how it shapes up, how it looks out there, if you see this playing out on the wider world stage. I think as well, we're probably going to see something when it comes to finances, agriculture, I think are the two sectors that we're going to hear about this week in the news. The other thing as well that I think we're probably going to be looking at with the Destiny cards, it's very likely that we're going to see some of either the governments or the bigger sort of financial institutions going in a different direction. And I actually feel like a lot of this might be something that causes maybe causes a little bit of friction. Maybe a lot of people are going to be unhappy with it, but what it comes down to is what you do with your personal choice. All right, so use it wisely this week. Take care, and I'll see you soon.